welcome to everyone. And today we're talking about affixes. So in this one, I have and like around circle is number one is talking about a content layout. Number two is talking about outcomes, learning outcome. Number three is talking about definition affixes. Number four, we're talking about branches of affixes. And 4.1 prefix, and 4.2 is infix, and 4.3 is suffix, and number 5 is focus on summarize. So today we will learn all of these things about, but in tutorials we just focus on affixes. All right, so the first topic is talking about affixes. All right, so what is affixes is, you will stick around with me until the end of the lesson. You will understand about affixes. All right, and now here we go to number one. So number one, I will make a content layout for you understand what we are going to do and what we get it. All right, so today in this lesson we focus on affixes, branches of affixes, and suffix, infix, and all suffix. All right, so that is a content layout. When you stick around to in the end of the lesson, you will get what we see in here look like a content layout. So that is all thing that we do today and with this lesson with me. Okay, stick around. And here we go to the next. So we go to number 2 is learning outcome. So learning outcome, it means that predicting about the result or outcome after you learn from this video. You will understand that to be clear about definition of affixes, understanding about branches of affixes, identify of prefix, identify of infix, identify of suffix, and in of the video you will use all of this. So that is all the learning outcome. That is all part of a morphology that we're talking about. In the previous lesson we're talking about the bound morpheme, and here I'm talking about affixes. So affixes, that is a branches of a bound morpheme. So what are affixes? And now we go together and stick around until the end of the lesson. You will get it. All right. So definition of affixes. So what is affixes? The question will ask you what is affixes. So an affixes is added to the root of word to change its meaning. An affixes added in front of the word is known as a prefix, and one add in the back is known as a suffix. So that is all affixes. Affixes is not word, but it is a group of letters. Okay, we have no specific meaning if it stand alone. So we go to next more, and now we're talking about the branches of affixes. So this is number one. Affixes, branches of affixes is a prefix, and divide into infix and to suffix. So the branches of affixes, but sometimes they say that structures of affixes or branches of affixes, or I can say that the flow connection of affixes. So we have only 3. Number 1 is prefix, number 2 is suffix or infix, and number 3 is suffix. So suffix, what is suffix, what is prefix, and what is infix? We go into next slide. You will understand about definition and stick with example for you understanding about branches of affixes and prefix, infix, and suffix. Okay, here we go. Next more, right? So 4.1. So what is a prefix, right? So the prefix is a letter or group of the letter added to the beginning of a word to make a new word. to make a new word. Look like imps. It means we add the beginning of word ant. We add the beginning of word x. We add the beginning of word antis. We add the beginning of word. So when we add im with port, it become import. It means carry in. And ant, we add beginning of the word do, so undo. It means not do it. All right. So x, we add the beginning of the word port, so export, it means bring something out. And antis, it means against. When we add beginning of the word or make associate with the social, so it became to antisocial. It means someone they don't like to make talking, communicate, and work within a group or community. So that is all talking about prefix, and I hope you understand about the prefix. And why we say that the prefix? Because the prefix is that the letter we add in front of the word. Why we do it? Because the prefix, pre it means before and post, so that is we stay in front of any words, any root word or base word, or a root word, right, or stem word, right. So that is all the same meaning of the words. Look like a pre it means before, and we fix it means at the beginning of the root word, basic word, and stem word. So that is we call that a prefix. All right. So now we're going to the next. And 4.2 is talking about infix. So infix is a derivation or inflectionality affixes appearing in the middle in the body of the word. All right. So that is not too much, and it is too difficult to understanding. But the thing within it means that a group of letters that we add in the body of the word of the root word. So you understand about this one, but this is not used so much, but we just have only. So I have a little bit explanation about it. But what do you remember? It means that the thing we add in the middle of the body of the word, so that we can call it infix, because in it means the in of something. You will look like we put something in, look like we in of something. All right. And we're going to 4.3, just what is a suffix. So when we're talking about suffix is that added at the end of words, right? The main purpose of suffix is to show that the class of words, example, the noun or adjective. So we have, why we say the suffix we add the end of the word, because suffix it means that something we add of the word or last of the root word, look like seems, able, and an. So that is we have to end a word, look like sex. It means that someone likes or loves about sex. All right. And worker, it means that someone who work in any place or any entities or any organization. So that is a worker. And reason, so reasonable, so it means become to something that suitable we live in. And widened, wide and dense, so something is wisely. So that is all we add at the end of the word of the root word sex, work, reason, and wise. So when we end dent, able, wisdom. And the function of the suffix is, the purpose of the suffix is that show about class of words. It means that a position of words look like noun or adjective. So look like ZCM, it means refer to nouns, that the noun that refer to the people means someone who likes sex. And worker is refer to the noun, it means to people in work. And reasonable is refer to adjective, it means that something that believable. when somebody is talking about someone or something, right? And then it's referred to adjective too. So that is a function or purpose of suffix. It shows about class of word. It means position of the word or status of the word. So noun or adjective. All right. So now we go to summarize. So I hope that you understand what I talking or mentioned about in here. We had to learn about affixes, branches of affixes. Affixes that is come from the bound morpheme, and the bound morpheme come from is the morpheme, and the morpheme is come from the morphology. Morphology is come from of linguistic, and linguistic is come from of language. So that is the flow connection, right? So when we're talking about the branches of affixes, so branches affixes we have divided into three parts. So one is that prefix, two is infix, and the last is suffix. So what is that the prefix? Prefix it means that a group of letters we at the beginning of the root word or basic word or stem word. So stem word, basic word or root word are the same meaning. But why I say like that? Because some people they confusing about root word or stem or etc. Okay. In infix, so we're going to infix, it means that a group of letters that we add in the body of word. All right, so that it will in, because the word in it means in of something, right? And the last one is that talking about suffix. Suffix it means that a group of letters that we at the end of the word, look like worker, look like a farmer that we add, and we show the purpose of the suffix. We show about the class of word. It means that adjective or word or adverb or adjective or noun. All right. Okay. And right now, I hope you are understanding about all this. And I'm Chandra from CC Learning and would like to say thank you for paying attention with English lesson that we're talking about affixes. And the next video, I will provide you some more lesson. And don't forget to subscribe my channel to get more lesson, because this video will be created for sharing the knowledge of education. All right. So thank you. See you next video.